In a dense forest full of wonders, there lived a little ant named Simo. He was a curious worker ant. One morning, as the sun began to warm the leaves, Simo heard a story from an old beetle about a golden lake that could show the future. But to get there, you must pass 3 challenges. Simo rushed to conquer the first obstacle. In a dense forest full of wonders, there lived a little ant named Simo. He was a curious worker ant. Every day, he helped the colony gather food. But deep inside, Simo always wondered about the world outside his nest. One morning, as the sun began to warm the leaves, Simo heard a story from an old beetle about a golden lake that could show the future. But to get there, you must pass 3 challenges, said the beetle in a mysterious voice. Simo was immediately excited. I have to see it myself, he said. Without wasting any time, he said goodbye to his colony and set off in the direction the beetle had mentioned. For the first challenge, the talking stone, Simo rushed to conquer the first obstacle. After walking for quite a while, Simo arrived at a large rock with strange lines. Suddenly, the rock spoke. If you want to continue your journey, answer my riddle. If you can answer, I will show you the way. But if you can't answer, please go back, little ant Tet. The question is, I have many branches, but no leaves. What am I? Simo thought hard while remembering his colony. He remembered the small roots that branched off in his nest. Then he shouted loudly, River. That's the answer, because the river has many branches that flow in various directions. With joy, the rock laughed Tet and said, Your answer is absolutely right, little ant, said the rock. Please continue your journey. On the next journey you will meet the grasshopper lord. You just follow this path and you will get there. With enthusiasm, Simo jogged forward. Simo arrived at a bridge made of leaves. In the middle of the bridge, a grasshopper named Tycho prevented him. If you want to cross, you have to do it without using your feet. It's good to just play through this territory. If you are stronger than me, please get through it, said Tycho, laughing. Simo confused. How can I get through it without using my feet? Then, Simo paused for a moment, then he got an idea. If I can't use my feet, then I will use the wind that blows, and climbs to the tip of the leaf. Hi-da, ... With all his might, he jumped, and hanging using his jaw in a spider thread that hung above the river. And he was welcomed by a good spider uncle. Hi, small ant. What's wrong with you? Why not use the road below? Simo apologized and explained the reason. Then the spider's uncle said, Basic grasshopper lacks work after because he lives there. Do not forget the spider gave encouragement to Simo. Uncle believes he will get through it. Then Simo rushed. He slid across quickly. Uncle of Spider impressed. You're smart. Continue your journey, he said while laughing. Simo shouted and said, I will prove it, uncle. And Simo rushed back to pass the third obstacle, passing through a dark forest. Simo continued his journey until he arrived at a dark cave. Simo was confused about which door to enter through. Then an old fox came and said, You can only go through this cave, and there is no other way. But you can't use your eyes to see the way. Gwara gwara. Simo felt like he had to start from where. But he remembered that ants have antennae that are very sensitive to everything. Simo said, I'll try it, old man. While walking slowly, he closed his eyes and began to feel his way with his antennae. When he entered the cave, it was only quiet and damp, but Simo continued to walk forward until he felt a cool wind blowing from one direction, and he followed the direction of the wind carefully. After a while, he saw a light coming from the front. Simo was excited and continued to follow it, until finally he came out of the cave and found something extraordinary. Simo was amazed and couldn't believe what he saw. Simo said to himself, "Is this a dream or just my imagination?" While looking around, not long after, there was a sound. Ha ha ha, finally you arrived. The sound came from who knows where. Suddenly, the old beetle appeared and said, "This lake doesn't really show the future, but it shows your potential. If you keep trying, this is what you can achieve. After all that you've been through, all the obstacles, the ridicule, the fears that you ignored, and also the courage that you have, make you a tough little ant. Thank you all, Uncle. I will never forget all those who have helped and supported me," said Simo. In front of him lay a lake that sparkled like gold. Simo lived little ant, but as a strong and wise leader, and he could finally see the extraordinary beauty. Simo smiled. He realized that this adventure was not only about finding the magic lake, but also about finding his own courage and ability. With a heart full of enthusiasm, Simo then returned home to his colony, ready to share this extraordinary story with his friends. And from that day on, Simo was no longer a curious little ant, he was a brave forest explorer.